Hello and welcome to Developing Developers. This is Abhishek and you're watching a course on how to create a movie API using Spring Boot. So far we have created a post endpoint to create a movie or to add a movie to our database. In this video we'll be creating a get endpoint to fetch a movie or movies from our database. So for that we need to go to our repository service class, service interface, and then create an endpoint. This will return a list of movie DTO. Go to service IMPL and implement the method. Now to return it, movie dot find all, and you can just return it. Now there is a problem. The find all method that is provided by the CRUD repository, it returns an iterable. There are two ways. One, you can get iterable, and then you can convert the iterable into a list. You can simply use like movies is equal to mutable list of, and it will be of movie DTO, and you can just run a for each loop convert the movies like movie mapper using a movie mapper from entity, and you can return the new movie list. That is one way of doing it, and that's fine. There is another way of doing that. It is add a method to the repository itself that will do the conversion for you. So what you can do is you can just create a method get all movies. It will return a list of movie. Alright, then create a query that using query annotation like select. Instead of star we have to use m or any other variable, then from movie as m. What this will do, it will, whenever you call this method, it will run this query and and return the result. So you don't in the service class you don't have to convert, you don't have to manually convert it. You can remove this conversion part, just replace it with this and you're good to go. So instead of get all movies, and then you can return the movies. There's one problem here. This is returning a list of movies, but we have to return a movie DTO. For that you just have to call a map function, movie mapper dot, and that's it. You're good to go. And now let's create an endpoint for this. Add a get endpoint, get mapping on. It will return a response. It will return a response entity of type list of type movie DTO. All right. And again we have to wrap it around a response. You have to create a response entity object and convert it into an expression, and that's it. Your response entity is done. Run the application and check out the results. When you click on get, it returns an empty list because there's nothing in the list. This is an error. It shouldn't return an empty list. Okay, so what you can do is you can just add a checker over here if movies dot is empty, then throw an exception, movie exception, saying list of movies is empty. That's it, and that exception will be handled using the exception handler. And now rerun the application. So now since our list is empty, it will throw an exception. All right, it's working fine. Just to get a proper result, we can add few movies. for some reason it is returning -1. Okay, the movie is adding, but for some reason our post request is returning -1. I don't know why this is happening, but what you can do is, instead of expecting the save method to update this entity, what you can do, you can simply pass the entity over here and where movie, and this is same as before. All right, now the error shouldn't be there. Let's rerun and confirm. It is weird because this is the first time I am assigning the return value of the save method. Usually this doesn't happen. Anyway, we should be able to solve. Yeah, we are able to solve the problem. See, now the ID is coming. I'll check into this problem why this is not happening, and let's get all the movies. All right, we are able to get all the movies and we are able to solve the movie. Since we are refactoring the create method, what we can do is, instead of sending an illegal argument exception, we can throw a movie exception, right? A custom exception. Now, what if we want to get a movie using an ID? That is also very simple. Go to our service class, add a method fun get movie. It will take a parameter ID of type int and it will return a movie detail. Go to the implementation class, add the method and return dot find by ID. There's a method in the repository that is find by ID using the primary key. So our ID is ID, and that's it. There's problem here. The find by ID returns optional object. So what you can do is you can just write dot get. This is fine because it will return a movie, so we can convert it using our mapper, movie mapper dot from entity, and that's fine. All right, this will convert our movie entity into our error into a movie DTO, and it will return a movie. So let's rerun the application. Forgot to create an endpoint. Let's add an endpoint. So get mapping. Now the endpoint will be, it will take a path variable that is an ID. Okay, instead of sending a path variable, you can also send a request parameter. It's up to you how you want to design the API. So for now I'll be creating a path variable. So for that, all I need to do is get movie, then ID int, and what this will do, it will call the movie service dot find movie and it will pass the ID. Now there is a problem over here. How will Spring know that the ID is coming from path variable or request parameter, right? Just like before, like we annotated with the request body, we have to annotate this with path variable. So Spring can check the path variable and it will get the ID, it will send the ID and will return the result. We are not returning a response entity dot okay. And rerun the application. Whenever we rerun the application, the entire database is removed. It's cleared off. So you can see it's returning list is empty. So for that I have to add few movies. Now if I check, I'm getting the movie. So if I don't pass the path variable, it is returning all the movies, and if I'm passing a particular value, it will return that particular movie. Now what if I enter some ID that is not there? So by default it will return a message like no value present. You can customize it. If you want to send another error message, you can do that. So instead of directly returning the values, what you can do is you can create a movie and get the value from here. Instead of directly getting it, get the value from here, then create another variable movie and optional movie dot or else throw. It's a lambda. You can send a movie exception, say movie with ID not present. This looks fine, and you can return the movie object, and that's it. Rerun the application. So if the ID is not present, it will throw this message instead of just saying no value present. Now our application is up and running. Again, we have to add some values. So if I have added 5 or 6 values, then I'll get a value. It's saying movie with ID 50 is not present as expected. That's it for this video. In this video, we created 2 get endpoints, one to get the movie using the ID and another one to get a list of all movies. Thank you for watching the video, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Goodbye and happy coding.